What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into the Invincible Iron Man issue number 14, tying in with all the other X titles. Iron Man has been helping mutant kind take down the Stark Sentinels, doing everything he can to help them out, to fight against Orcus, to fight against Fei Long, having a deposit of Mysterium. He has entrusted this to Ironheart. Using the Mysterium, she is to create ships for the invasion of mutant kind on down to Earth. But as she goes through space, she runs into not only Forge, but a dragon that comes with a warning. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we pick up with Tony Stark having a nightmare. This nightmare involving him battling Magneto, and Magneto is just tearing him apart, taking the very armor off of his body and making it into a spear. He propels that spear directly into the chest of Tony Stark. And that's when he wakes up. He spent months developing countermeasures to Magneto, designing technology that would protect him, and now that technology is being used against the innocent. But waking up from this is when Emma Frost comes into the room. She offers to help him forget, to use her powers and make him not remember. But that's not what he's looking for. On the other hand, Emma Frost does have other ways of helping people forget their problems. That's when Emma gets naked and gets into bed, and Tony tells her that when this is all over, he wouldn't mind trying to figure out what they are, trying to figure them out. Emma, on the other hand, she doesn't necessarily believe that Tony is going to make it out of this. Not really fond of the odds. Emma thinks that she'll be fine, but what Tony has planned, he's probably in some big trouble. This is what takes us to deep space. The dragon standing before Ironheart, letting her know that those rings, those are not weapons. They are not rings of power, they are rings of tragedy. It holds the spirit of his brethren, that she must heed these words or she will suffer the consequences. But Ironheart has nothing to fear from this monster. No, the rings will do the job. Even the purest of hearts will be compromised in the darkest of days. Around your hands, you have 10 curses upon you. You will compromise your heart. The only way to save yourself is to remove the rings from you, to get rid of them once and for all. But as Ironheart and Forge begin to have a conversation, her not knowing that these weren't rings of power or alien artifacts, they are in fact having the spirits of some ghosts in them, but telling Forge that she's got to build a great machine out of Mysterium. They find this quite the coincidence. This is what takes us to the home of the Smiths of Asgard. Right now, the Forges, they are currently down. That is because of what went down in Carnage, when Carnage forged his weapon of chaos, his god killer, what he calls the All Red. But Ironheart and Forge both believe that if given the opportunity, they can probably get the Forges reignited. Without wasting any time, the two of them get to work. Taking us many days later, the Forge reignited and the ships built out of Mysterium are fully operational. Now, while Ironheart and Forge offered up the dwarves some Mysterium for all of the work and allowing them to use the Forge to begin with, they get a little bit greedy. They come to take everything, attacking both Forge and Ironheart. The first to attack Ironheart gets blasted by the rings. The other that goes after Forge, he tries to warn him not to attack, but Forge's leg activates, his automatic defense leg. He had taught his artificial leg all the best combat on Earth. He says that it literally has a mind of its own. This is when Ironheart, using the power of those 10 rings, lifts all of them up off of the ground, getting ready to send them into the void. Forge stays her hand, lets her know that she doesn't want this on her conscience. She doesn't deserve to live with this on her mind. Reluctantly, she drops them. Now she has come to understand what carrying this rings really means. What scares her the most is she's becoming comfortable with it. And so a little while later, her and Forge together to devise something to be able to get rid of these rings permanently for her. Activating the sextant, they shoot these rings into the universe, designed specifically to spread them out across the galaxy. The 10 rings are now gone. and Riri is finally free of them. This is where we have the ships landing on Arakko, and they are doing it in full view of Orcus satellites. Once they land on Arakko and they pick up the mutants, they head directly for Earth. They know Orcus is watching. They want Orcus to see it all. This is where Firestar comes into play. Feeding Orcus false information, she is letting them know that the mutant resistance on Earth, her connections with them, she took credit for something that Mystique had done, freeing the Juggernaut. She lets them know that Stark has been playing possum. He has designed ships capable of withstanding the capital guns on Venus, the Earth, and the Moon. And their beachhead is going to be the Australian outback. Fei Long plans to have all the Stark Sentinels waiting ready for the invasion. As Firestar and Fei Long with Dr. Stasis all leave the room, Moira, Omega Sentinel, and Nimrod have a discussion. They don't want to tempt fate any longer. Fei Long is prideful and Stark is dangerous. It's time that they kill Firestar, and they're gonna do this by using their weapon, the Adamantium Claws of Orcus. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, this one was definitely a much quicker issue, but it's moving the plot forward for most of the X titles. These ships made out of Mysterium, they're some freaking tanks, man. These things are powerful. Like they said, there's nothing, no defense that the humans can put up that are gonna put these ships down. Mysterium it's up there. It is super powerful and it has anti-magic properties. So these ships are going to be able to make landfall without a scratch on them. Highly unlikely that we see any of them taken out of the sky. And this is important because this is the whole thing Stark has been building up. A full-scale invasion, taking Earth back from Orcus, stomping them into the ground, ensuring that they don't get up again. With Rhodes still currently in prison, the next issue is going to be showing his jailbreak. I still believe that pendant he was wearing around his neck is in fact an Iron Man suit, disguised as a necklace, shrunk down to the size of a necklace. When the time comes, we're gonna see Rhodes coming out in the Mark 72. But things are definitely building up. The big battle is just on the horizon. The end of Krakoa is in sight, and the demise of Orcus is within our grasp. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything going on with Iron Man or the X titles, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.